Have you ever sent a text or an email that was just completely misunderstood? Or maybe you found yourself spiraling in some heated online debate that just went absolutely nowhere? Yeah, you're not alone. Our digital lives are kind of full of these moments, and today we're going to figure out exactly why that happens, and more importantly, what we can actually do about it. So check out this sentence. This is the real deal result of a communication technique that took a totally hostile online exchange and turned it into a productive conversation. The woman who wrote this, Grisha Stewart, was getting hit with insults from a complete stranger online. But instead of fighting back, she used this specific formula that de-escalated the whole thing in a single sentence. So what's the secret here?
It's a feeling we've all had, right? You type a message, you hit send, and then bam, suddenly you're in the middle of a massive misunderstanding, or even worse, a full-blown argument. What is it about our screens that just makes genuine, empathetic conversations so difficult?
Okay, so to fix this whole communication breakdown, we first have to get why it's happening in the first place. And it's not just about the tech itself, it's about what that technology does to our brains. There's a really powerful psychological thing going on that explains why we act so differently online. This right here, this is the core of the problem. It's called the online disinhibition effect, and it basically says that without all those face-to-face cues we rely on, like body language, tone of voice, or even just making eye contact, all our normal social guardrails just come crashing down. Anonymity makes us feel bold, and that lack of immediate real-world consequence can make us pretty reckless with our words. There's this researcher, Yoesup Edi Rogmod, who has a fascinating name for our digital world, the emotional habitat of humanity. But wow, is it a strange habitat? It's just full of these contradictions. Think about it. We can have hundreds, even thousands of friends online, but still feel incredibly lonely. Or we can pour our deepest feelings into a post, but all that nuance gets totally lost in a sea of likes and shares. This paradox is really at the heart of our digital struggles. Okay, so we've got a pretty good handle on the problem. Now what? How do we actually start to fix it? Well, the solution begins with rebuilding the one thing our screens so often strip away: empathy. Now, this is a really important shift in thinking. Digital empathy isn't about just feeling bad for someone. It's an active skill. It's something you can learn and practice. It's about consciously choosing to interpret messages with a little more care, to listen with more awareness, and to intentionally restore that human connection that technology can so easily erase. So how do we do it? How do we actually put digital empathy into practice when a conversation gets really heated? Well, thankfully, there's a practical, step-by-step method called Nonviolent Communication, or NVC, that gives us a super clear roadmap. This four-step formula, this is the secret weapon Grisha Stewart used to turn that whole hostile exchange around. It's brilliant because it breaks down a really difficult conversation into these manageable parts. Let's walk through it. First, you start with a neutral observation of what happened. No judgment. Then, step 2, you share your own feeling. And this is crucial. Step 3 connects that feeling to a universal human need. And finally, step 4, you make a clear positive request. It's so simple, but it's an incredibly powerful tool for de-escalation. So the magic trick is really in step 2, expressing a real feeling. See, saying I felt attacked isn't actually a feeling. It's a story you're telling yourself where the other person is the bad guy. It's basically an accusation in disguise, what some people call a pseudo-feeling. But saying I felt uneasy or I felt guarded, that's about your experience. And that invites empathy instead of making the other person defensive. See the difference? It's huge. So we have this powerful tool for emotional connection, which is great. But that's only half the battle. Our digital world isn't just a maze of emotions. It's also a maze of information. And honestly, getting lost in that maze can be just as damaging. This same digital space that disconnects us emotionally is also just flooded with stuff designed to mislead us. Misinformation, we know, spreads way faster than the truth. And with the rise of AI and deepfakes, telling the difference is getting harder every single day. We need a new set of skills, for sure. And this is where the SIFT method comes in. It was developed by a digital literacy expert named Mike Caulfield, and it's a really simple 4-step habit to build. Before you react to something, before you share it, just stop. Then take a quick second to investigate the source. Find other, better coverage of the same claim, and trace that claim back to its original source. Just think of it like a new mental filter for the internet. But what about the images and videos themselves?
As deepfakes get scarily realistic, how can we ever trust what we're seeing? Well, that's where a new technology called C2PA comes in. It's a brand new standard being developed by major tech companies. We're talking Adobe, Microsoft, to help us verify if digital media is authentic.
Honestly, this is the perfect way to think about it. Just like a nutrition label tells you what's in your food, C2PA embeds a secure, verifiable history right into a media file. It can show you where it came from, how it was made, and a log of every single edit. Now, this isn't about censorship, it's about transparency. It gives you the info to make your own judgment, and it's already being rolled out in cameras, editing software, and on social media platforms. Okay, so we have these two really powerful toolkits, right? One for navigating all the emotional conflicts, and another one for navigating the crazy information landscape. When you combine them, you really have the building blocks of what it means to be a truly effective digital citizen today.
Ultimately, it really all comes down to these two core skills. Being a good digital citizen isn't just about netiquette or, being polite. It's about being intentional. It's about actively building that human connection through empathy and actively building trust in information through verification. These are the tools that let us navigate the digital maze without getting totally lost.
So here's the question we're all left with. In this world that is just full of screens, how will you choose to be human? Are we going to let our tools divide us, or are we going to use them to actually build bridges? The future of our digital world. It isn't being written in code. It's being written in the choices that we make, one conversation at a time.